Hey, Tara, how are you?
I'm here.
Okay. Do you know what's not here today? The rain.
I know, but that... I get it, but there's something that's so beautiful. I don't know. I was just learning about how this part of Virginia down in North Carolina is actually a temperate rainforest in Appalachia.
Right.
And us humans, we're just so delicate in nature.
But it was an uninvited guest for like almost all month. So, I wish it had...
This is coming from the weatherman who said it's uninvited?
Yeah,
That's
uninvited. It could have taken a hike
record
for a day or two, so we could have mowed something. But
did you accurately predict this, just out of curiosity?
It wasn't hard. All you had to do is wake up every day and say, it's going to rain. Mm-hmm. There was no challenge to that whatsoever.
Okay. But the amount that we got
was a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of thing. So
what does that mean for our river system? Anybody in a risky area?
They're full. But they're doing well. I talked to some folks today at the Botetourt County Fair, which is where we are right now, and they were surprised that the soil and the farms received the rain well. Mm-hmm. In other words, they weren't all flooded and mushy. The land seemed to be adapting well to the amount of water, at least compared to what they were getting.
Depending on what soil profile you have.
Yes.
This place is so folded, it's a hot mess of soil type. So we have Frederick loam, so it's just a big pile of molding, modeling clay.
Gotcha. So what else have you been thinking about? We haven't been together for a little while, and this Botetourt County Fair is an important part of the history of our region and the people that we know.
More important than ever. I think that probably all of us, no matter where you are in life or any type of belief, I think you can agree that we're perhaps a little bit more distant from each other, and that sense of community is maybe not as cohesive and central as it used to be. So trying to find something like the fair that I would like to see, and I hope that's what it is an extension and a representation, a reflection of ourselves. Let's leave the farm at the farm, perhaps.
So it's a walk away today and then observe other people showing their wares.
Yes, look at animals who cooperate and listen and do as they're told. Yeah.
And we got to see Mike the bee guy.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I adore Mike. He's just a powerhouse of knowledge. So if anybody hasn't met Mike, they need to stop by that booth.
I suspect we'll be talking with him down the road, not too distant. Yeah,
definitely.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So, where are we farm-wise? What is available now, and what should we be watching for in the next month?
My popcorn is coming up, so that's exciting. I'm starting a new variety this year, so super, super tall. I would say it's beautiful, but at night with that little bit of rain and the wind, I've read way too much Stephen King. I can't handle it. Tom thinks cornfields are beautiful. I see. I'm scarred. So
You ask her a simple question.
But so anyways, popcorn's coming up. So I got some cool variety. I'm growing some glass gem, which I've never done before.
Okay.
So purely decorative.
Okay.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Okay. So I don't know if I set the stage properly, but we are live at the Botetourt County Fair, which is a work in progress in terms of growth. And each year it seems like they get a little bit more established, and they're on a good pathway. But also there's historical parts displays here, and you and I are going to walk over and see that in a little while. Do you know much about what we're going to go see?
No, I'm actually hoping we'll get to learn about the history of the canal, maybe in the process, and
So what makes today different for us is we're outside with folks. We're going to grab some microphones, and we're going to talk to them. And I'm not sure how it's all going to turn out, but
we're going to go talk to the youth.
We're going to talk to folks. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to go talk to these kids, see what they're doing, what's brought them here, their plans for next year, and how it's kind of shaped them.
Cool. Let's see where it takes us.
We believe and I'm fairly confident about this, that it started in 1881 at the old fairgrounds north of Fincastle.
Okay. So we were like deep into Reconstruction period?
Oh, yes.
Is that what
Well, actually, we have an article from the Fincastle Herald in 1868 that they were having a meeting at the courthouse to form an association of farmers for the purpose of considering a fair in 1868. But then we don't think it happened until 1881. But they were discussing it as early as that.
And their reason for doing the fair was to get more community involvement, to kind of
to promote our agricultural history.
Okay, so to market it to the greater public beyond the region.
Yes. And we have pictures of horse racing from the old fairgrounds. All kinds of agricultural products grown in the county. Hay, wheat, tomatoes, all kinds of vegetable garden products.
Okay, and the aim
and canning and sewing, needlework. Okay. I'm not sure that it wasn't just a social event for the county.
Okay, so the way to present ourselves, celebrate ourselves, and what we've done, and the fruits of our labor. Okay, was it also the morale booster because we were in that time?
Absolutely.
The war? Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. There are many articles that reference having fun at the fair, see you at the fair. Everyone goes to the fair. They called it homecoming.
They would take wagons down to the bateaus that came up the river, and they would unload, and then they would bring that here or upstairs. There's a windlass. I don't know if you've seen a picture of it. There's a windlass in the attic, one of the oldest in existence. Really, still totally intact. And then the family lived on one side, and their employees lived on the other. And they had a warehouse, and we found, actually Steve Davis, their historian, found ledgers in the attic from 12 years before the building was built that the Wilson brothers had, that named every recipient, every bateau captain, every bateau, every bit of any provisions that came up the river to this area. We have different festivals, anything. We're planning. We've just got a VA 250 grant of $200,000 to add facilities out here because that limits us to 100. Where one bathroom limits us to 144. Okay. So we're going to have 2 new bathrooms out here that are part of the VA 250 grant, and we're going to have a VA 250 celebration here. I think it's March 28th. That's very close. And so we're going to have we have professional actors that are coming, and we're going to have a dinner theater situation, and the not absolutely positive, but it looks like the Virginia VA 250 may send us their mobile museum for that day.
Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're glad you're here. And we're excited because we're going to tap into some history with you today, which is really a welcome thing in a podcast to learn a little something here and there. So what I would like to do is begin with, tell us a little bit about what your latest project is and what you think is coming up.
So I am, chairman of the board of directors for the Botetourt County Fair Association, and that association has one big event a year, and that's the Botetourt County Fair. We started that back in 2000. My involvement started back in 2013. I think we're going to talk a little later about the history of that fair and what happened in the last century. But essentially, I was working as the county ag extension agent through Virginia Cooperative Extension in Botetourt, and I had a good friend that was working as the 4-H agent at the time. She and I just got together one day and said, you know what, we've got kids that are doing really fantastic projects. We've got FFA kids and 4-H kids that are working so hard on what they're doing. And we've got farmers doing really awesome things. And we need a place that everybody can showcase and celebrate that. At the Extension office, if you're familiar with Extension and what Extension's mission statement is, it is really the link between the research and the science and the development of new technology that goes on at the university level, in particular the land-grant universities, Virginia Tech and Virginia State University for the state of Virginia. When the fair was reborn in 2013 through the Extension office, we were somewhat limited in our scope because it needed ultimately to be educational and needed to fall under the mission statement of Virginia Cooperative Extension. We were able to partner with some other community groups. Chamber of Commerce came in and helped us do some things like that. But ultimately, that independent organization, our nonprofit status, has allowed us to open some doors to some fundraising opportunities and to expand our scope just a little bit where we were limited when we were kind of in underneath of that extension umbrella.
Exactly. I should tell you that Teresa Reed, my wife, and also the executive producer of this podcast, and I were super excited to have you come talk to us today, because from where you're sitting right now, if you look out the window, you can see the original fairgrounds from the 1800s. And when we first moved here, people said, oh, yeah, there's a fair. And of course, it's just a grass field now, and you can't see the history. Mm-hmm. But people are always happy to talk about either their memories or their experiences or the stories that they heard. And that fairground property right over there apparently was buzzing all the time. And we're talking about back to the 1880s, 1890s, right at the turn of the century. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine a fairgrounds in a county just doing all the things they were doing, whether it was horse racing or, pie contests or whatever it is? I can't even visualize it because the fairgrounds are quite large over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you think about it and remember that Botetourt County did stretch to the Mississippi at that time, and Fincastle was the county seat at the time. So it is neat to think about what kind of dedication it would take to get that gathering of people here for that event. And I don't know if this is the right time to talk about it or not, but the Botetourt County Historical Society, in conjunction with the Botetourt Museum, is putting together a Fair Then and Now exhibit that will be held in the parlor of the Wilson Warehouse the day of the fair. So August 2nd is the fair this year. And they've got a lot of artifacts, old memorabilia, fair books, awards, prizes, ribbons, pictures. And they have some pretty neat pictures of those old grandstands and some horse races that were going on at the grandstands. I've got a really neat advertisement that's a graphic of a really blown up pig standing at the grandstand. So there's going to be some really neat stuff. I'm actually really excited about that exhibit that the Historical Society is putting together for us this year.
Dates get fuzzy over time.
Like last week.
Yeah. Memories get fuzzy over time. And I think you've probably noticed too, people that have old information have it as they remembered it. It might not be quite right, but it's close enough to just continue the story a little bit. But other people are always very forward moving in telling you what they know. Mm-hmm. And so that has a charm in and of itself on old events. So we appreciate it. As you say, if people want to talk to us, we're listening.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just was talking with Kathy earlier today, and we're gonna do our best to have kind of a sign-in yearbook type situation at that exhibit at the fair, so people can put down their name and contact information if they're willing to share it. And maybe just a little quick note of, I showed cattle in the late 80s or these dates or something. And that will help us kind of piece those timelines back together, because this is something that's really very interesting to a lot of people, myself included. So we're excited to try to continue to put this puzzle together.
You've done a lot of things. You've touched a lot of agricultural Botetourt topics. Your time at Virginia Tech was time well spent. Is this fair a passion project for you?
Yeah, absolutely, because I'm not sure why else I would be doing it. The pay is terrible. Yes.
You're getting paid?
I've doubled my salary from last year, which is 0 times 2 is 0.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is a passion project. I don't know how you could interact with our 4-H and our FFA youth and watch what they do and have a conversation with them, and anybody that is interested in doing it, just come to the fair, go down there while those kids are supporting their friends and neighbors, they're helping out. There will be a downtime when they have a break. Just introduce yourself, and you'll meet 9-year-olds and 15-year-olds and 19-year-olds and everywhere in between that will look you in your eye and shake your hand and intelligently tell you about their animal, and they'll tell you what they eat and why they feed it, what they feed it. They'll tell you where they got it, how much it weighed. They'll tell you what their average daily gain is. They can do enough basic math skills these kids have a project book they have to put together that lays out a full budget. These kids know the difference in a depreciable expense or a capital investment like a barn or a pen or a bucket that they use on a yearly basis versus an expense like a bag of feed that goes, that's done when it's done. They're doing incredible work, and anybody that interacts with them, I don't know how you couldn't feel strongly about it, honestly, after you really get to know them and see what they're doing. They're doing awesome work. And I was really blessed when I was growing up to have parents and extension agents and adult volunteers and leaders that volunteered their time to give me a lot of these opportunities. And I can just look back on my life and think, where in the world would I be if I hadn't experienced that and hadn't lived that? And so while I am capable, I want to be able to do that for these kids that are growing up, because I really do genuinely believe that that's the future of our country. These kids, in their club meetings, they learn parliamentary procedure. To take that and then translate that over to whether or not they're going to serve on the Board of Supervisors or even further up in government, so to me, it's really not hard to be passionate about it. And I would say, yes, it is definitely a passion project for sure.
My mom grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
So my mom wanted me to get into this.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show a calf because I'd done that at the West Virginia Fair.
Oh, so you've done it before?
Yeah.
So how's this one different from West Virginia?
Because it's a smaller fair.
Yeah.
Our dairy club meetings are the second Tuesday of every month.
Okay.
Normally to work with my calf, I've gone every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday, sometimes Sunday.
Wow. Okay, so 3 to 4 days a week. That's a lot of time, just a few hours every day working with them.
Mm-hmm.
So what type of stuff do you do when you're there physically with the calf?
I'll lead her around. I've shaved her. I've gave her a bath.
And what's her name?
S'mores.
S'mores? How'd you come up with that?
Because she's so white, I just decided to pick S'mores.
Oh, God.
We just walk her around the ring, kind of.
And what do they look for?
How strong they are on the front part, how clean they are. They're top, where their tail is to their neck.
So what do you think you've learned out of all this year?
That I should pick a black calf.
Why is that?
Because she gets dirty so easily.
I think that county fairs are one of the last remaining actual public spaces where agriculture, rural traditions, local artisans, and then actual local history really kind of can be showcased to the citizens. It's by the citizens for the citizens. It's just a whole entire extension of all these individuals that make up this greater whole, and that Botetourt wouldn't exist and is nothing except a little designated area of land if it wasn't for those citizens. And this whole entire team just brings us together. So there were the old, the young there, the families that have been here for 6, 7 generations, sometimes a little bit more than that. It's insane how old some of this blood is here. And then those that just moved to the area. Brand new developments in Greenfield, Ashley Plantation, they're all there together. So you might see someone you haven't seen for months, a year, and it's just there was no gap in the conversation ever. It just continues as it always would have been.
There was more going on here. There was a much deeper thing going on with the human interaction at this fair. Every farmer I talked to had a story and a solution to whatever their problems were.
Yes, and I think a lot of it's a lot of commiseration.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
But that's what brings us mostly together. Right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I had more rain than you. You had more rain than me.
Yeah, it's always I got 2 hours.
My mud pit was bigger than yours.
Yeah. Yes, it still always is a competition.
It is. It always is. So you and I would agree that this has been really kind of just a refreshing experience to see what they pulled off.
Yes, but the youth also in particular. To see these kids put themselves on display. I mean, public speaking is oh God, I hate public speaking. Don't you? But
I picked the wrong career if that was true.
I mean, these kids go even beyond that. I mean, they're putting their body language on display. I mean, most people are like, oh, I hope I'm not going to be judged when I go there. They're like, yes, like going to be judged with their animal. And it's hard enough saying you can try to get your dog to sit in front of your friends or show them a trick. These people are trying to show an animal.
That's right.
And be judged for that. So their character, everything is out there in the open. The responsibility and the discipline of rearing and training these animals. It was so beautiful to see them so involved. And actually at Tech, Tom and I were talking, we knew a couple people at Tech that actually paid their way through college with money that they earned from showing their animals.
Wow.
There's a lot of money in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they were so motivated, and, they have to travel sometimes long distances, and those trailers are pretty big. And when you looked at the parking lot in Buchanan, it was filled with, hardworking, showing people and animals.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, and they're passing the torch along, too.
Yes, they absolutely are. Well, I think it was a great fair, and I think you and I had a great time there. So let's definitely check the box next year and make sure that we're there and seeing what's going on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to this special edition of the Forgotten Fields Project, highlighting the Botetourt County Agricultural Fair, held in Buchanan, Virginia on August 1st and 2nd, 2025. This episode, recorded live at the fair, was produced by Teresa Reed. Special thanks to Fair Director Kate Lawrence and her staff, along with historians Catherine Cronise and Kathy Stevens-Austin, and young farmer Brooke Anna Schultz. Robin Reed and Tara Williamson are your hosts. The Forgotten Fields Project is available wherever you get your podcasts and can also be found on our website at ForgottenFieldsProject.com. We welcome your feedback and story ideas. Like us on Facebook and Instagram at Forgotten Fields Project, and don't forget to hit share. For the entire staff, I'm Patrick Reed. Thanks for joining us.